Hello everybody, undefeated back again with another video. Oh boy, Taylor Fritz is the guy who ended Rafael Nadal's undefeated run in 2022 with 20 match winning streak. Rafael Nadal was going for his 21st match winning streak, 21st match winning streak in that Indian Wells final 2022, and Rafa just couldn't do the job. It was his last match in this spring on the hard court season before going to that clay court season later in the spring, and Rafa lost that final. Rafa lost that battle. Am I surprised? No, guys, I'm not surprised. Did I pick Rafa to lose? No, I didn't pick him to lose. I thought that he would win this final, but I was not crazy confident. When I talked about this final yesterday briefly, I said that if Rafa Nadal doesn't figure out his serve, he will not win this match. I said that Rafa Nadal, if he loses his serve 5 times, he will not win this final. He didn't lose his serve 5 times. He lost it 4 times, and that was enough. And that was enough for Fritz to win this final, because Fritz's serve is much better than Carlos Alcaraz's serve. Well, Rafa lost his serve 5 times against Carlos, but he broke Carlos' serve 6 times. And if you don't protect your serve against a better server, like of course Taylor Fritz is, than Carlos Alcaraz, then you will be in big trouble. And that was exactly the case here. Rafa Nadal was not serving good. Rafa Nadal has not served good in the entire Indian Wells tournament. And he came away with all the other 5 opponents, and he fought himself to the victory. The fighter that he is, the champion that he is, the never losing attitude that he has, that took him through the 5 opponents that he had in this Indian Wells tournament. But when he faced a hot player like Taylor Fritz, when he faced a hard-hitting player like Taylor Fritz, a big-hitting player like Taylor Fritz, who has, in my opinion, he has underachieved in his career. Considering what a big game he really has, this guy, he has a big forehand, he has a big backhand. My God, his backhand was on fire in his final. My God, he fired 14 backhand winners and only 4 backhand unforced errors. The majority of the tour, it is their backhand that is their weaknesses. The majority of on the ATP tour, if you're not named Djokovic or Murray or Zverev, the majority of all the other dudes, it is the backhand there where you can hurt them. And the majority of unforced errors on the ATP tour, besides Djokovic, Zverev and Murray, they do the majority of the unforced errors with their backhands. But Taylor Fritz, he's not in that category, at least not in this final. His backhand was on fire. My God, I said that in my short preview yesterday, when I described Taylor Fritz as a player. I said he has a big serve, big forehand, solid backhand. What did I say? It was a mistake saying Taylor Fritz's backhand is solid. No, it is great. It is superior. Solid. My God, for God's sakes. Am I nuts? Yes, I am. Am I crazy? Yes, I am. Was it wrong description? Yes, it was. It is not a solid shot. It is a great shot, at least in this final. He didn't know how to miss with that backhand. Taylor Fritz, he was ripping that ball. He was clubbing that ball. He was unleashing that backhand and was hitting through Rafa Nadal and was blasting winners with that shot. His backhand was better than his forehand. I don't know if that is the case in all of his matches, because I have not seen all of Taylor Fritz's matches, to be quite honest. But it for sure was his best weapon in this final against Rafa Nadal. It was his backhand. That was I don't know. I was so impressed with his backhand. I was so impressed with Taylor Fritz's backhand. He just took Rafa Nadal apart. I must say, Rafa Nadal was not moving great in the first set. He had pain in his chest. His serve was not up with great speed there. His serve was down in speed. He was not serving the fastest serve like we have seen. Now, Rafa Nadal's weakness as a player, it is his serve. If Rafa has a small weakness, it is his serve. Rafa Nadal has improved the entire game since I first ever saw him in 2005. When I first saw Rafa Nadal 17 years ago, and when I see Nadal now, he has improved the entire of his game. He has improved his volley skills. He has improved his backhand. He has improved his shot tolerance, even though he has always had his shot tolerance, more or less. He has always had shot tolerance. It has never been bad, but he has improved his game plan. He has improved his mind, his tactical game on his head. He has improved everything, Rafa Nadal. Everything in his game. He has always kept on improving, Rafa Nadal, as a tennis player. But his serve has never been tremendously crazy improved throughout the years. He has shown patches in some seasons where his serve has been great. The best ever serving year I've ever seen Rafa Nadal is the 2010 season where he won 3 majors that year. The only year that Rafa Nadal has won 3 majors. That is the best ever serving year performance from Rafa Nadal. Besides that, he has served great in some matches here and there, but if I can pick one thing that you can hurt Rafa Nadal, it is on his serve. And if you are injured and if you have some pain, like he had obviously in the first set, and took a medical timeout after the first set, you have already not the greatest serve in the world, and put in pain there, and you cannot go for your serve as hard as you wish to do. And you face a red hot player like Taylor Fritz, who is played great tennis in this Indian Wells, and by the way, has played great tennis the last 5 months. I believe he was in the semifinals in Indian Wells last year as well. And who has always, not maybe always, but who he used to lose the third round matches in the slams. I know that he has lost a third round match against Federer in Australian Open 3 years ago in 2019. I know that he lost the third round clash against Djokovic last year's Australian Open, because he has that seeding. He is in that top 30 spot in the world. Not at the current moment he's in the world 20. He will go higher than that. He will be top 15 in this week. But in the past, he has been in the 30 world rankings, and he has always faced Federer or Djokovic in slams in third rounds. At least he has done that in Australian Open the last couple of years. Federer in 2019 lost there, and Djokovic in 2021 lost there. So he has had some bad luck, but he has a big game. He has underachieved. In my opinion, he has underachieved. That this dude has won only one tournament before this Indian Wells started, a 250 class little tournament, is for me unbelievable. Considering what a big game he has. He has forehand. He has backhand. Decent returns. His returns were really good against Rafa Nadal. Okay, Rafa Nadal didn't give him the best challenge in this final because, like I said, Rafa Nadal's serve was not as hard as we are used to see because of his chest pain. So he couldn't do himself justice with his serve. Obviously, Rafa Nadal. But Rafa Nadal, he started to move better in the second set. Let's be honest here, guys. Rafa Nadal started to play much better tennis in the second set, because in the first set, Rafa Nadal was doing a bunch of unforced errors. He got his serve broken 3 times in the first set. Rafa Nadal was not to recognize at all in the first set, and that has to do with his pain that he had in the chest. and Taylor Fritz was the much better player in the first set, and broke Rafa's serve 3 times, and Rafa broke Taylor Fritz's serve only 1 time. And Taylor won that first set and was clearly the much better player and won the first set 6-3. In the second set, Rafa Nadal started to play better tennis. The painkillers that he took in the medical timeout after the first set started to get into his body, and he started to move much better. Probably his pain in the chest started to get less. And he started to play much better tennis in the time. So the second set I can analyze much better. It was a more healthy Nadal, and he lost it. Taylor Fritz was coming with issues on his health as well, because it was very uncertain that he would play this final to begin with, because he had foot problems in the Rublev match. Towards the end in the Rublev match in the semi-final. So it was a miracle that Taylor Fritz could even play this final. He said it himself after the match. But in some way he played this final, and my God, what a final Taylor Fritz did. All credit to Taylor Fritz. Rafa Nadal didn't do the best match in his life. It was an average Rafa Nadal we saw, especially in the first set. Maybe even a disaster Nadal in the first set. But that has to do with the issues that he had with his health and with his chest. Rafa Nadal was serving so bad and so weak in the first set. You can never win a set with that kind of weak serve like Nadal had in the first set, against a big server like Taylor Fritz, and against a big hitter, and against a big hitting player like Taylor Fritz, who rips the ball from both wings, both forehand and backhand. But in the second set, man, Nadal. If we are seeing Nadal being a clutch beast with all his 20 match winning streak that he has showed in 2022, he has won 20 consecutive matches in this 2022 season, and has won 3 titles on the way, and he has shown some really clutch tennis on his 20 matches winning streak that he has won. He for sure was not clutch in that second set. 9 breakpoint opportunities Rafa Nadal had in the second set, and he converted only in 1 of them. 9. Taylor Fritz stole that second set. Rafa Nadal played much better in the second set. Rafa Nadal moved much better in the second set. Rafa Nadal was much solid in the second set than he was in the first set. Rafa Nadal served much better in the second set. Rafa Nadal challenged Taylor Fritz in the second set, and Rafa should have won that second set. Taylor Fritz had only 2 breakpoint opportunities in the second set. He converted in 1 of them. Rafa Nadal had 9 breakpoint opportunities in the second set and converted in only 1 of them. That is not being clutch. So if Rafa Nadal has been a clutch beast in his 20 matches winning streak that he has won in this 2022 season, he for sure was not a clutch monster in the second set. He definitely was not clutch in the second set when he had 9 breakpoint opportunities and converted in only 1 of them. If you look all the breakpoint opportunities, Rafa had actually more breakpoint opportunities than Taylor Fritz. Rafa had 10 breakpoint opportunities in the entire match and converted in only 2 of them. 1 in the first set, 1 in the second set. Taylor Fritz had actually 1 less breakpoint opportunity than Rafa Nadal, in total 9. And he converted in 4 of those breakpoint opportunities. 3 times in the first set and 1 time in the second set. 7 breakpoint opportunities Taylor Fritz had in the first set, and 2 breakpoint opportunities Taylor Fritz had in the second set. So it was not the most clutchness Rafa Nadal we saw in this final, especially not in the second set. Taylor Fritz, he was the better player. He did a much cleaner match. He dominated Rafa Nadal from the baseline. If you look at the baseline rallies won, Taylor Fritz wins 59 of those points. Rafa Nadal wins 45. So Taylor Fritz wins 14 more points from the baseline. Taylor Fritz was handling Rafa Nadal from baseline. Taylor Fritz was bullying Rafa Nadal around from the baseline. Taylor Fritz did a much better job on the serve plus points. And you can see that in winning points behind the first serve. When you see Nadal landed 67% first serve in, Taylor Fritz landed 64. Taylor Fritz wins 69% behind his first serve. Rafa Nadal only 56. Big difference. Taylor Fritz 69 winning points behind first serve. Rafa Nadal only 56. Why? Because Taylor Fritz did a much better job on the third shot. Serve, return, bam! He did damage to Rafa Nadal. Either he did a winner, either he forced an unforced error from Rafa Nadal's racket, or he forced an unforced, or Rafa Nadal did an unforced error. So Rafa did both unforced errors and forced errors in this match. A lot of them. If you look, unforced errors winner stats, Rafa Nadal does 34 unforced errors and only 21 winners. So Rafa Nadal does 13 more unforced errors than winners. Taylor Fritz, much cleaner match, like I said, did only 22 unforced errors and 20 winners. So Taylor Fritz does only 2 more unforced errors than winners. Only 2. Rafa Nadal does 13 more unforced errors than winners. Taylor Fritz dominates the baseline rallies. Like I said, 59 points he wins from the baseline. Rafa Nadal wins only 45. So Taylor Fritz wins 14 more points from the baseline. So Taylor Fritz was clearly the better, the cleaner, the more solid baseline player. Taylor Fritz was clearly the better surplus player here. Taylor Fritz was clearly the better third shot player here. Taylor Fritz was returning superbly in this match. He returned much better than Rafa Nadal. He played a much cleaner match than Rafa Nadal, and he was a better clutch player than Rafa Nadal. Like I said, Rafa Nadal, he has 9 break punch opportunities in the second set, and he converts in only one of them. Taylor Fritz had only 2 break punch opportunities in the second set, and he converts in one of them. Taylor Fritz, he took the second set to a tiebreak. Rafa Nadal should have won that second set, in my opinion, because he had plenty more chances than Taylor Fritz. And even in the tiebreak, Rafa Nadal had chances. He was 5-4 up in the lead and had 2 serves, but he did a crucial mistake in a drive volley when he did a very uncharacteristic unforced error with his forehand and hit it long and took them, and Taylor Fritz make it to 5-all, and then Taylor Fritz took Rafa Nadal's serve once again. So both of Rafa's serve that he had on that 5-4 game in the 5-4 point in the second set tiebreak, Rafa lost both of his serves, and Taylor Fritz then had his match point on his serve, his second match point, because the first that he had in the middle of the second set, Rafa saved it with a great forehand in his own serve. But in the second match point that Taylor Fritz had in his own serve, he didn't do any mistake and converted in his second match point when he had it in his own serve and won that second set tiebreak 7-5 very, very deservedly. He was the much cleaner player. He was the more consistent player from baseline. He was the more solid player, and the most important of all, he was the much more clutch player than Rafa Nadal, which we, to be quite honest, didn't expect before the final, because it is not Taylor Fritz who has won 91 titles. It is Rafa Nadal who has done. But Rafa Nadal, I need to excuse him for the first set where he didn't do himself justice. He had a lot of pain in his chest and he was serving horribly in the first set, and that's why his serve was broken 3 times. But even if Rafa would have been 100% healthy, I am not quite convinced that he would have defeated this Taylor Fritz, because Taylor Fritz, guys, what does he bring to the table? He brings to the table big hitting tennis. He clubs the ball, he hammers the ball, he crushes the ball from both sides, from both wings, and he has it is not all about the serve, because he didn't do many serve aces in this match. He didn't do, I think he did 1 or 2 serve aces, not more than so. But he is so solid from the baseline. He's not the most fastest player on the tour. He's not any speed demon. You don't want to let him to dictate, and Rafa Nadal was letting him dictate. If you want to break down Taylor Fritz, you need to make him defend, because he's not the greatest defender. You need to attack. Rafa Nadal should attack him much more. He started doing that. Rafa Nadal attacked the net 13 times and won 10 of those approaches. Rafa Nadal is an amazing net player. He should have attacked the net much more like he did Alcaraz, where he attacked the net 30 times and won 20 of those points. He should have attacked the net much more, because from the baseline, Taylor Fritz was the much better player than Rafa Nadal, the much cleaner player than Rafa Nadal. And at the end of the day, Taylor Fritz wins 82 points, Rafa Nadal wins 72 points, so Taylor Fritz wins 10 more points than Rafa Nadal, and he was the better player, and he deserved to win. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace!